What up, y'all? Scrubbing a little bit this morning. If you're watching the video, just got done with my morning routine, having a nice little cup of coffee. You might be enjoying your coffee too, maybe driving somewhere. Hope you're having a good day. Wanted to share a thought with you that came to mind because I was opening my mail over here and got a note about my escrow on one of my properties. And it just got me reminded about something I wanted to maybe educate you on because you probably heard different advice from some folks in the world, like the Dave Ramseys of the world. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not. I'm not like trained in the finance world. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax guy per se. So this is just opinion based on my personal experience. And so I just want to share a couple thoughts with you. When I bought my first house, I only put 5% down. And most people think that's stupid because they're like, oh man, you're gonna have to pay mortgage insurance. Oh boy. That's one thought process about it. And it's a traditional one. It's one that the Dave Ramsey of the world and others typically share. Save up 20% down before you buy a house, right? I just want to throw some perspective at you. This will be, just a quick real truth episode. So stay with me here. When you purchase a home, you have the flexibility as your primary residence to get different types of loans than you would as a business, right? And so typically for a business, depending on the loan, you typically would have to put 10% to 25% down. There's all sorts of opportunities for a primary residence for you to put much less than that, as low as 5, 3.5, 3, and even 0% down sometimes. And oftentimes I would highly, highly, highly recommend putting just about as little down as possible. Again, you got to crunch the numbers. And let me tell you why. So when my wife and I bought the home I'm currently in right now in 2020, it was right after COVID had started. There was no end in sight to the whole work from home deal. So we bought a house out in a suburb of Houston that, is an area that actually flooded quite a bit. And the home prices were down. There was some work that had done. It was a flooded house. So there had been flooding in the home before. It was the only time the home had ever flooded was during Hurricane Harvey. And there were some issues with how some of the local dams were being managed during that storm. And so all signs pointed to, as long as that dam is managed properly and they don't have to let it out like they did in a future storm, there wouldn't necessarily be a flooding issue per se. I mean, if there's enough rain, of course, there's always going to be a flooding issue for everybody, but it's just one of those things. So we ended up purchasing a home at well below the typical value that a home like this would go for. And so that home purchase price right around 540,000. At the time, we only put 5% down. Wow, 5% down. So let's see, let's do some quick math. I think I remember it was right around 30 grand. But I'll just do the math so I don't lie to you. So 540,000 times 0.05, $27,000, right? So 27,000 down to get into a $540,000 house. Pretty wild, right? Got like a $3,500 a month mortgage payment, and that includes like I don't know, 270 a month mortgage insurance. Ugh. Yeah, it seems like a lot, right? Crazy. So what's 20% down? So 540 times 0.2. That would have been $108,000. Now, I might have had that saved up. Who knows? I can't remember. But why? What? Like, imagine if you didn't have that saved up. How long does it take you to save up 30 grand? Maybe some of you, not too long. Others probably take you a year, two, more. 30 grand's a lot of money. 108 grand, a whole lot more money. So, okay, so say I'm going to listen to traditional Dave Ramsey advice and wait till I save up 20%, $108,000 to be able to buy a home like this, right? Well, what's this home worth today? Well, current home prices in the area will put this home value anywhere from like $160 a square foot to, I don't know, like 190, something like that. Something crazy, right? So this year, I've had the home 2 years, and you may not know this, but after 2 years, you can apply to get your PMI removed. Ding, ding, ding. Here's where the trick comes in. So what the whole wait till you save 20% down thing doesn't take into account is appreciation. So my home now, based on 160 to $196 a square foot, those are comps, actual comps from sales that have happened in the last 6 months. That would value my current home today that I bought for $540 between $762 and $935,000 respectively. And guess what? They removed my mortgage insurance because those home prices went up, I now have well more than 20% equity to cover that 500 and whatever $1,000 note I had, putting 27,000 down on a $540,000 property, right? So think about this. Instead of missing all that appreciation from 540 to somewhere between 700 and 900, right? So a couple $100,000 that I earned. I mean, I haven't realized it yet because I got to actually sell the property. So we'll see what I actually get when I sell it. But, instead of capturing that, I was able to lock in a 3% 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate, right? Pretty awesome. Only put 5% down. So I had all that cash left to do other stuff with, furnish the house, invest in other stuff, have that money working for me the whole time. Plus, this home appreciated a couple $100,000. Plus, the mortgage insurance for 2 years was only 270 something a month. So do a little quick math. That's like maybe 8 grand, a little under $8,000. So I paid $8,000 in mortgage insurance to potentially make a couple $100,000 while living in a super nice home that I probably couldn't afford if I had to wait to put 20% down. If I was going by that rule, couldn't have afforded a house like this, right? So I just want you to start thinking about these things. Yeah, sure. Buying in this area, good move, appreciation. It was a good area that appreciated like crazy. Market went crazy. Interest rates now up. Home prices going a little wild. People moving south from places like New York and California. All good. Yeah, there was some luck in there for sure. But my first house even only put 5% down on that. I haven't done all the math on it, but it's probably appreciated from 400,000 to 470,000, something like that. So, and it's in an area that doesn't really appreciate the same as the area in my current home. So you just got to think about this when you're listening to the guys like Dave Ramsey. Ooh, Dave. Yeah, sure. If you got like all the cash in the world and you have 20% down and you don't have any other investments to do with it, like maybe that's a good investment. Maybe. I don't know. Some people are like, oh, I just don't want to have a mortgage. That's fine. I mean, if that's what you don't want to have, then that works. That's okay. If you just have that much cash flow coming in, then you have other problems to figure out. So I commend you for getting to a point where you've got all that, right? But If you're still building your cash flow assets and you're still building your net worth, something to think about is you can still do both. Go lead everything. I have the opinion that you can do it all. Now, you can't do it all at the same time, but you can do it all. And I want it all. And I want a good life for my family. I don't want us to necessarily have to in lack. Delayed gratification's a thing, but it's something to think about when you have the options that you do to make smarter decisions with your money and get more value out of it. To really turning like the Grant Cardones of the world, they say your home is not an investment; it's a distraction. I get that. There's lots of maintenance. There's lots of headaches that come into home ownership. I've experienced them. I get it, but you just really got to think. There's some really good ways where you could, even in your personal residence, buy in the right time, buy in the right spot, and make some good money potentially. Again, I haven't realized it yet, so I don't even really think about it, but potentially make a good financial move for your future by, instead of renting, instead of buying something you can afford, you just strategically buy a nice property in a nice spot with only a minimal amount down, capture that appreciation, get rid of that PMI, and bada bing, bada boom. There you go. So hope this helps you think about it today. If you got questions, reach out to me. You can text me 832-507-1991, or you can go to goleadeverything.com, subscribe, give me your email, get on the email list. Haven't really ramped that up huge yet, but we're going to start putting out more blasts. So if you want to get ahead of that and capture some special offers from GLE, go do that. If you got some value from today, share the show. The show only grows by word of mouth. So as you go, share the show and make sure you lead everything.